graphic nature of this program, viewer discretion is advised.
You know, I've been from one side of this fandom to the other. In all that time, I have seen a lot of things. Above all that, there is one thing I am absolutely certain of. I am the villain of this story. You know what time it is, Valhalla? Greetings, one and all, and welcome to Mornings of Mischief. I am the villain in the Panda Menace, Stone Loki, and a big good morning to my panel this morning. Good morning, Purple Valkyrie, Dave Bob, and Reina Creole.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Now is the chat doing this morning? Good morning, Pod Racing, Palpatine Project, Storytime, Dave G Sound, the Jester of Sin, Adega Outlaw, Philip A. Demick, Martin Orlando. Good morning. Good morning. The Wrench of Wrenches, Chris Persia is here. Good morning. I hope everybody out there is doing great. Gun Bunny, Psychodorf 9, Speaker for the Dead. Good morning, guys. Mr. Cactus, good morning. Derek McManus, I hope you all are doing well this morning. Yodam Darkstar, good morning. And yes, we are going to talk Zack Snyder. I wasn't 100% sure whether I was going to pick him or not, but considering that Justice League is just around the corner and there has been so much drama concerning this movie, I said, you know what? Screw it. 300 is one of my favorite movie of all time. I like Dawn of the Dead. Watchmen's got just as much drama surrounding it as Justice League does. So why the hell not? Why the hell not? Why the hell not do Zack Snyder and talk about this back and forth career he's had? What do you guys think? What do you guys think about him?
He's a good director. His style is different than most, but visually, he usually does some pretty stunning stuff.
Oh, 300 definitely. 300 definitely stunning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I really like him. I think he's got a good eye for detail, and he's clearly a big fan of comic books. You know, he gets it.
Yeah, I agree. 300, it really can't be emphasized enough how much of a game changer 300 was with just respect to storytelling, cinematography. And this was before I even knew who Zack Snyder was. I just remember the way that movie was put together and shot. It was just a joy, not to watch just once, but to watch repeatedly.
Yes.
That's one that always came up for movie night. You want to watch 300? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's
those slow motion
movies I got on
scenes
Blu-ray
and everything. That just
yeah.
great.
When he's fighting the wolf as a kid, when he suckers that wolf into that crack in the wall. And I remember my dad leaning in, he goes, this looks really good. And I'm like, it's just like the comic. It looks just like Frank Miller's comic. I was absolutely blown away by the way
Really
they
does.
visuals.
That scene where they're herding them off the cliff. It's
Yes.
almost it's take a screenshot and put it next to the comic page, and it's almost you could lay one over the other.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really kind of amazing. There's a lot of people that absolutely hated that movie, the style it was made in, and the colorization, the red background and all of that. It kind of baffled me at the time because that was just new stuff, man. It was beautifully done, I thought.
Yeah. Nobody. I'd never seen anyone capture a comic.
Yeah, I will say that. Shoot, that's the other reason That's the other reason why 300 is so popular with me.
Spartans, what is your profession?
300 is problematic. Sexualizing men in such a way is appalling.
And the music for the film is great as well. The narration. It's almost a perfect comic book film.
Mm.
And I think it's a one that not a lot of people knew about 300 before the film came out.
I did not.
I did. I'd read the comic. I was a Frank Miller fan, so
okay.
I hadn't seen the comic,
but it was just like Purple said. You could pause a scene. There were so many scenes in that movie. You could pause and put that in the comic, and you'd never be able to tell that was from a movie. It's just like, damn, that fit so well in that comic, and it was like watching the book. It was like watching Frank Miller's book. So many people, is 300 historically accurate? I'm like, it's from Frank Miller. It's from Frank Miller, for God's sake. Yeah, and it's mine too.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like The Watchmen.
Same for me.
The whatever cut, the final cut of Watchmen,
Mm-hmm.
the one that's like 3.5 hours long. No, it's 300. It is definitely 300.
I enjoyed The Watchmen, but 300 was by far a better film.
Yeah, so I think.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Purple.
I was just gonna say, Watchmen came so close to being a perfect film, but it just wasn't quite. I thought the cast was excellent. Visually it looked great. I can understand why they changed the ending, but I'd say 300 is the perfect film.
Yeah, 300. Another reason that 300 had popped on my radar was because of all the technology that was involved with that, especially the fact that I think that was the first film where the operating system that they used was Linux. So that was what popped into my head about 300, and why 300, besides making like the rounds about how great it was theatrically, it was showing up in a lot of technical journals as well.
Yeah. Yeah, there was this camera system they used in a couple of the scenes where it's like spinning. It's a
bullet camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a weird concept of like they actually have the camera on this like spinning circle.
This is a crazy question. Did 300 come out before or after The Matrix? Because the same bullet camera style was used in The Matrix. Okay.
Yeah, it was after. This was 2006.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. He did Dawn of the Dead in 2004.
Yeah. And that was another thing I was going to bring up was I used to always think that that 300 was the first movie of his I ever saw, and then I'm like, oh shit, Dawn of the Dead.
I missed that too. I just knew Dawn of the Dead was I was pleasantly surprised. And besides the fact that Dawn of the Dead was actually shot in Florida too.
Was it?
Yes, it was. I found that out. We did one of my Florida streams where we did horror movies filmed in Florida. And people were like, holy crap, Dawn of the Dead was shot in Florida. And yeah, it was shot. It was shot in
So
Florida.
how close to a Florida mall is that?
I know.
I'm thinking that's just like a Tuesday.
Pretty much.
Oh yeah, and speaking for the dead, the nasty priests in 300. Yeah, the carne. And now they talk about the oracles, and how only the most beautiful women in Sparta are chosen. Like your beauty, their beauty is their curse. You don't want to be the most beautiful woman in Sparta, because guess what? You're gonna have a bunch of old, nasty, creepy fucking priests fondling you to get you to do your oracle gig. They're gonna be licking your earlobes. You don't want that. Absolutely do not want that. It is a film you must be seeing. Yes, 300. Yeah, if you haven't seen 300 in theaters, if you ever see that, like, Flashback Wednesday or what the fuck ever, go see 300. Don't miss it ever in theaters, because that is one of the best movies of all time to go and see in a theater. That is a popcorn flick unlike any other. Darth asked her question: if we cancel Disney Plus because of the Gino Carano thing, are we just as bad as the SJ? I assume you mean SJWs. No.
No. Cancelling a person and cancelling a subscription is a very different thing.
Yeah.
I would say, you do what's best for you.
Yep.
I'm not into boycotts. I'm into boycotts.
Yep.
But that's just me. It's like, if your way of protesting is canceling Disney Plus, go ahead and do it.
Yeah. I've always said I don't tell people what to do with their money ever.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for it anyway, so it's nothing getting off my back.
I'll tell you what I do. I'll tell you what I do with my money, but I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money.
I pay a grand total of 1 penny for Disney Plus, but
Nice.
let's just say that I've taken money from Disney or kept it away from Disney in other ways.
Yep, you don't have to go to the theme parks. You don't have to buy the merchandise. Unless it's Gina Carano merchandise.
If you can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they stopped making it, took it off the shelves. That was ridiculous.
That's crazy. No, it's crazy.
It was petty.
So before I get to before we start getting into DC comic book movies, is there anything in the middle between Watchmen and Man of Steel? We've got Sucker Punch, Legend of the Guardians.
I enjoyed Sucker Punch. It was a visually stunning movie, like all of his are. I mean,
yes.
Just face it.
I think you and me, Dave Bob, are one of 2 of 5 people that actually enjoyed Sucker Punch.
I've never seen Sucker Punch. I remember seeing the previews for it. I don't remember what was going on then, but I never got to go see it. So it's not something that I ever. Is this something that I should watch, Sucker Punch?
If you're a fan of Zack, yeah, you need to watch it.
I've never seen it, but I'd heard good things about it. It was just one of those movies where it's like, yeah, eventually I'll go see it, just from the buzz around it. Excuse me.
I really liked it, and it's almost an entirely female cast, but it's not done in a way that's kind of pandering. They've all got their own personalities. They're all very different, and it's an interesting story. It's different.
Of course, that's Zack.
Pod Racing Palpatine brings up that the follow-up to 300 is great. Rise of an Empire. And it has a lot of Eva Green special.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, it was. Yeah,
it was. I enjoyed watching her in it, but just like I enjoyed watching Lena Headey in the first one.
it was disappointing to me. So I was just like, yeah, okay.
I think I've only ever seen it once. It's one of those I really should go back and watch. What I should do is watch 300 and then the sequel back to back.
I like watching them both. I do. I like watching them both back to back. I like watching 300 and then watching Rise of an Empire right after that. But I'm an Eva Green fan. So I like Eva Green. If you like Eva Green, she plays a good enough role in that movie. I like the idea of her going around and like killing everyone associated with Xerxes. I like that. It's like, anyone that had anything to do with this past life or knew him when he was younger, she goes around and like kills in a single night. And I don't know. I always like that. It was fun to watch. This small little woman, Eva Green, running around killing all the people associated with him before he becomes like the God King.
Xerxes was such a good character.
Xerxes was. I mean, he was before memes were popular. It's just like we used to refer to Xerxes so many times. It was so just like over the top how they presented him.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It's all over exaggerated.
Yes, extremely. Like it's like I don't want to say typical, like the comic book villain that is like so over the top, so larger than life and almost like outrageous,
So, Man of Steel.
Mm.
Yeah.
Controversial.
I'm like Lorietta.
I said I was excited about Man of Steel. I will not lie. As far as I'm concerned, Christopher Reeves is Superman, but I was willing to overlook that because I wanted to see a different interpretation. And, he kind of had me. This wasn't Zack Snyder's fault, but had me until Clark just let his father be killed by a tornado. I'm sorry. Just no. One of the most defining moments in the Superman movie, the first one, the fact that Clark couldn't save his father.
Yes.
That taught him a lesson that no matter how powerful he was, there were some things that he couldn't control. And seeing that scene in Man of Steel, it just tainted me to watch the rest of the film. I just didn't. I emotionally disconnected at that point, and that's not what I like to do in a movie. When you've lost that emotional connection for me, it's just like I'm just not attached. But yeah, I love Henry Cavill. That's what made me so disappointed because Henry Cavill, oh my God, he was in the Tudors. So I don't think you understand how excited I was to see Henry Cavill as Superman. So I love seeing that. But when that part happened in the movie, I'm just like, I'm not emotionally invested anymore. But that was just me.
I knew something was wrong at the beginning when they have that scene in the truck stop. And that guy messes with him and he comes out and his truck has been like impaled on a pole.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah.
That's not how Superman acts. That's not what Superman does. No,
he's not petty.
And there were moments in that movie like that where I was just like, this is not what Superman does. This is not how Superman acts. I love Cavill. I love the guy they got playing him. Hell, when I found out that Kevin Costner was going to be Jonathan Kent, I was like, oh my God, they're going to nail it. And you got Russell Crowe playing Jor-El. I was like, shit, this is going to be a badass cast. And yeah, no, they got Morpheus playing Perry White.
Yep. Trying to get out of the blocks, they fell on their face.
I mean, let's see. Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Diana Lane, Russell Crowe.
Michael
Stellar
Shannon.
cast.
Yeah, Lawrence Fishburne. I said Morpheus because that's what I immediately think when I think of fish there. Yeah,
We knew who you were talking
Morpheus playing Perry White, Kevin Costner. I mean, it's like, oh my God, what a cast, and they fucked it up. And the penis scene with Zod, where they're in the penis, the dick ships. I'm just like, no. I'm like, no, guys, why? Whoever saw that scene and didn't go, guys, they look like rubber dildos.
I think I blanked that scene out of my mind.
They've got rubber dildos that take them to the Phantom Zone. Guys, what the hell? Somebody at Warner Brothers saw that and was like, and they look like rubber dildos, and didn't say anything.
Yeah.
Didn't say anything. Oh, disappointment. I love the soundtrack too. That's one of Hans Zimmerman's soundtrack to that.
Zimmerman. I love his music.
Mm-hmm.
I love his music. His scores are just wonderful.
Yeah. See, on paper, you see the cast, you see, who's directing, you see the soundtrack. You think it's going to be a perfect film, and it should have been, but it just kind of falls flat. I think, and it's long. It's only just over an hour and a half. I think it's like 140 minutes or so, but it feels a hell of a lot longer.
Yeah, Purple, you know what? You're right. You're right. And especially after Clark's father dies. I think after that, it just seemed to drag. And I kept checking my watch.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 movies in one. I mean, the way they broke it up, it was just, I don't know.
And I felt kind of bad for Michael Shannon because they didn't really give him much to do. And I thought he was actually really good, so but he's just a really generic character in this film.
I want to save Krypton, Cal. I want to save Krypton. You're like,
He's no Terrence Stamp, bless him.
No. Yield before Zod.
Yeah, that's Zod there.
Yeah.
Before Zod.
So
before we get into, let me share this. Before we get into this next movie, I want to share this. This is from I Am Legend. And if you look up in the corner, you see 515 0. I think that was going to be 2000. I'm not sure. But they had planned on doing a crossover when Christopher Nolan was doing the Batman movies. The original plan at Warner Brothers was to have the crossover with Christian Bale's Batman. That was the original idea. And Warner Brothers threw this little tidbit. If you dig into Batman versus Superman, you'll find out that Warner Brothers planned this before, and that the Christian Bale movies were supposed to catapult DC back into a multiverse, kind of like Marvel, the Marvel movies. And they did not do that. They ended up canceling that entire idea and just doing the Batman movies, the 3 Nolan Batman movies. But I always liked the idea of having Christian Bale's Batman be a part of that jump start into the Justice League. That I always thought that would be really cool. That's not what we got, but I always thought it'd be really cool. Instead, we get Batman versus Superman.
Yes. Again, a film that you think that it would have just gone crazy at the box office. It's Batman versus Superman, but it never should have been Batman versus Superman because they're not antagonistic towards each other. So I think right off the bat, it gave people the wrong idea.
And it is very much Miller's Batman Returns.
And it was,
go ahead.
No, you're right. It is Frank Miller's. story.
Yeah, I didn't like Superman, but I like that Batman v Superman even less.
Oh, I did not like Batman versus Superman. Again, another film where I thought I was really looking forward to it. And Zack Snyder sold me Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yes.
I really didn't. I didn't think he could freaking pull it off. I really didn't. But he sold that to me. And then the film, it just, I mean, Martha moment. No.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Oh yeah, Jesse Eisenberg. I didn't buy him as Lex Luthor. I could see where they were trying to go, but I'm like, I could not. There was just Lex Luthor never seemed to me to ever be super unhinged, and if he was, he certainly wasn't revealing that to you.
Nope.
No.
He
The
was
way
just straight up stone cold sinister.
Do you believe the rumor that he thought he was playing the Riddler?
If that's true, that definitely, yeah, because he plays a manic character, and as Lorena was saying, Lex is not a manic character. He's cold. He's
No.
calculating.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse Eisenberg was bouncing off the walls in that film.
Yeah.
He was bonkers. I'm like, you're unwrapping Jolly Ranchers and feeding them to people. No, I just
Open up,
creepy.
open up.
Oh.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
I know. God, I'm like, who the heck thought this was a good idea?
Well, it was a serious miscasting, and on top of that, he was not Lex. I mean, that's
No.
not Lex Luthor.
No.
No, and I'm like, I'm not a diehard DC person, but I knew that.
Let me see if I can pull it up. I'm pretty sure that at some point he thought he was playing
I hadn't heard that.
Riddler.
Because the Riddler is, he's off his rocker, but that's what we expect from that particular character.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a very strange casting.
Yeah.
Even right at the end when he finally shaves his head and you do see him without any hair, it just looks really odd because he kind of looks like an alien.
Oh my gosh. Now that I remember it, Jesse Eisenberg is the guy who I think did the voice of one of the parrots in that animated CGI feature Rio. Goodness gracious. No. Because it was the same like manic character, and now that I look back, it's like the same thing that he did with Lex. It's just goodness.
So they refused to divulge what character he originally auditioned for, but it has been confirmed it was either the Joker or the Riddler. That the Joker and the Riddler were going to be in Batman versus Superman, but both characters were cut because they did not want to overcrowd Lex Luthor in the movie.
That movie was pretty crowded anyway, to be fair.
And I can't see Eisenberg playing the Joker. I really can't. So it would have to be the Riddler.
I like the Riddler. He's probably my favorite Batman villain other than Scarecrow, but yeah, I can't see him fitting into this film very well. Not with everything else that was going on.
Could you see that guy being president of the United States?
No.
No.
I can't. And you've got to have a Lex Luthor that is a commanding presence that could actually run for president and it be believable. I want that storyline. One of the greatest animated DC films of all time that I ever saw was Batman Superman Public Enemy, where they are basically Luthor has put $1 billion bounty on the head of Superman, and it's Batman versus Superman versus everyone. It's like everyone is coming for them. And the tag team moments between Batman and Superman where they're kicking the shit out of the bad guys is like, oh my God, this is how they would fight. If they ever teamed up to fight something, this is the way I can imagine them fighting, because it's like they've got shit worked out ahead of time, you know? It's like Batman freezes this fountain and has Superman come down with his heat vision and blast everything. It's like fire and ice. I was like, holy shit, this is the coolest damn team-up movie I've ever seen. But Luthor's playing the president of the United States. Luthor is the president of the United States in this movie. That's why he's able to do some things he does. I can't see Eisenberg doing that in any way, shape, or form.
No, he didn't have the, like you say, enough of a commanding presence. I think the scene that really kind of took me out of the movie is when they're doing that hearing and the bomb gets smuggled in and it goes off killing everybody, and Superman's just standing there. It's like, oh my God.
And they didn't even explain that well. Did you ever see the extended edition?
Don't think so.
You got go, oh man, go watch the extended edition because that explains all that so much more. And even then, you're still like, this movie still sucks. This movie still sucks. Some of the visuals in it are great. Go ahead, Dave Bob.
No, I'm just laughing at what you were saying. It still sucked.
Some of the
it still sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, it still sucks. The director's cut is a lot better. I'm sorry, I've got horrible indigestion this morning. The extended cut is a lot better, but it still sucks.
Yes, I think probably my favorite character and the one that was cast the best though was Jeremy Irons. I loved him as Alfred. He plays a good role.
And you don't get Wonder Woman if you don't have BVS. See, that's something that that was like the thing. I was sitting there, I was watching that in theaters, and I literally jumped up out of my seat when Doomsday fires his heat vision and he's gonna fry Batman, and you hear it. Wah, 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 and the heat vision stops and that music comes in, and you're just like, holy shit, yes. And it's a kick-ass Wonder Woman.
Yeah. Well, there are parts of that movie that were pretty good, but overall, it did suck.
Oh, the Batman fight. Yeah. Yes. The Batman fight in the warehouse. Absolutely. Yes. Kick ass. I love that. That is Batman. Using everything around him as a weapon. Yes. I completely agree. Someone said something about the grenade scene, and I'm like, no, if someone throws a grenade at Batman and he kicks it back at him, Batman is not responsible for the death of that person. I'm sorry.
That's committing suicide.
Yeah, that's committing suicide by hand grenade. Yes, and Humor and Waffles totally upstaged Batman and Superman. Is she with you? No, I thought she was with you. Absolutely kick-ass scene. I'm smiling from ear to ear just thinking about the scene with Wonder Woman and Batman versus Superman.
Yes,
his middle name is Martha.
Martha. Oh yeah, we'll get to that.
That was a pretty cringe scene, that Martha scene. Oh.
Why did you say that name? Oh God. Like nobody saw that coming. Martha Wayne. Martha.
It's been memed ever since.
You have to say Martha. Why did you say that name? Martha. 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 Rob Thunderheart, ale. They put a nod to the Arkham games when Batman did the reverse ceiling takedown on video at Lex. Yes. Yes. Zip. Ah! Yeah, they did. Absolutely. See, that's the problem. There were little things that I absolutely loved. There were some big things like Wonder Woman. And then there's just the worst moments. And you wonder, considering what WB did with Justice League, did they do anything? I know they cut a lot compared to the director's cut. The director's cut actually explains what is going on. It gives a reason for Clark Kent to be there, not just Superman, but Clark Kent. You see these little things in the cut version of that movie, like him talking to the wife of the guy that got killed in the prison. But it never expands beyond that in the theatrical cut. In the director's cut, you find out why he is talking. You find out what his mission is as Clark Kent. There's actually a point to the Clark Kent scenes. You find out that Lois is investigating everything that's going on as well. And there's a point for her in the movie besides grabbing the Doomsday Killer stick.
And dropping it.
Yeah, and dropping it. And Mexican Iron Man is here, ladies and gentlemen. He said, no, it's like this. Martha! Martha! Yeah.
Yeah, I like Amy Adams, but she didn't have much to do in that film.
Yeah. Basically, I think it was kind of schizophrenic. I mean, it was just all over the place.
I heard over the ether, Martha, damn you, Loki. Why did you say that name? Oh, good morning, Mark. Why did he say Martha? Martha. Recently I've been playing through Mass Effect and Mass Effect 2. I'm on my way to Mass Effect 3. My own 4K restoration of those games. And I can't help but sit there and go, Shepherd, 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 as I'm playing. Martha, 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 Martha. BBS Martha sounds like an adult film. Yes, it does. Roger. Yes, it does, sir. Martha, Martha. I can't sing it because I'm not a twin.
Right.
Big good apple pies, Lord Thoth.
What did you guys think about Lex's really weird plan about using General Zod's body? And
that's not Doomsday. That's a Ninja knockoff of Doomsday. That's not Doomsday. I was very disappointed. For as much as they had going on in that movie, I could not stand how and the fact that they made Doomsday out of Lex and Zod's DNA. I was just
Yeah, that whole scene is kind of uncomfortable to watch. It's like, this is really gross.
No, he never had heat vision. He never had heat vision. Even when later you find out that yes, he is Kryptonian. See, this is the original concept for Doomsday. Was he's this unstoppable force that's going to kill Superman. That's all they had planned. You find out later that the idea was that the Kryptonians kept sending out this guy to fight and die and fight and die, and they kept cloning him and bringing him back and cloning him and bringing him back, and every time he died from something, they clone him and bring him back, and it'd be harder to kill him that way until eventually he turns into this monster and they can't control him, and somehow he gets to Earth. They exile him and get him as far away from Krypton as possible because they don't want him anywhere near Krypton. So he hates Kryptonians. He gets on Earth. He ends up waking up. He fights Superman. Bada bing, bang, boom. He's not something that Lex Luthor made. He's not something that was connected to Zod, except in, I think, in the Smallville, he was Zod's son or some shit.
Have a good one, Mark.
Martha! Martha! Take it easy, Mark. No, he's in a box. He's in a metal box, and he ends up waking up and busting the hell out of the box. He's in that box so that no sunlight can get in there and recharge him, which I thought was an ingenious idea later. Oh, that's why he's in this like steel box, is so that no sunlight can get in there, so he can't get his powers back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Project Storytime. Let's breed an unstoppable killing machine. What could go wrong?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like AI, everybody's wanting to have artificial intelligence. If there ever does come a true artificial intelligence, I don't think we're going to be around much longer after that.
Speaker, it's the ship. The ship is the fortress. That ship is supposed to be the fortress of solitude in these movies. That's your fortress, is that fucking ship, that Kryptonian ship. And I hate that idea. I absolutely hate that idea. I cannot stand the fact that they gave us that ship instead of the fortress of solitude. But that is your fortress, is that stupid Kryptonian ship that is buried on Earth. It was like Batman didn't realize that other females might have the name Martha. No, just his mother. Why did you say that name? We gotta get away from. I gotta get away from Batman versus Superman. Batman versus Superman. And of course, the next thing on the list is Justice League.
Yep.
Yes.
He had a tragedy happen to him during that, and I feel for the guy. I really do.
His daughter committed suicide.
Yes.
Don't know why. There's never been, and not that we have to know why. It's one of those things that happen that you're just like, holy shit. And he tried to keep doing the movie, from what I understand, but he was just like, I'm gonna ruin it. It's gonna be ruined. I can't keep doing it. I don't have the energy for it. I thought I could do it, and then this happened, and it's just not happening. How different a movie we would have gotten, we're gonna find out, which is unbelievable to me. And we'll get there in a minute, but let's talk about what we saw, which was a cut up mess of a what the hell movie. I wanted Batman. I wanted Superman in the black and silver suit. That's what pissed me off the most. I was promised the black and silver Superman suit. That is my favorite suit. The Death Shroud suit. The judge robes that Jor-El had in the very first Superman movie. What was it, 78? It was 78, right?
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I wanted that, and I'm not going to get that. We didn't get that.
No. It's like you say, you can see glimpses of where this film could have been brilliant, but because of what happened, and because obviously he had to step down, and then Josh Whedon took over, they have two very different directing styles, and it's like you say, it was just a mishmash. And I really didn't like Steppenwolf. I thought he was a really odd character for them to pick
I
bring
didn't
in.
either. I found Steppenwolf to be very cartoonish.
Hmm.
Seems sinister because your superhero or hero film is only as good as how insurmountable your villain is. And Steppenwolf just seemed like a caricature. The power, if anything, seemed to rest with, I call them flying monkeys, his flying monkeys that he had, with him. And in the end, he went out like a freaking punk. I did not like that. I'm like, this is your big bad, and this is how he goes out.
And the CGI on him was
Oh, it was
horrible.
freaking horrible. Now contrast that with the one in the Snyder cut.
Hmm.
I'm like, that's what Steppenwolf should have looked like.
Oh, Lord thought there's a great sideshow statue that has Superman with the long hair and I've gotta find it. Gotta find it.
Hmm.
I'll have to find that and pray that eventually at some point in time, Loki's got enough scratch to get the because that's my favorite. I don't know why. I don't know why. I remember seeing Jor-El as a kid, and that's Superman's dad, and I love the black and silver. So when I saw that in the comics, Superman's back and he's got the black suit with the silver, I'm like, yeah, going old school Jor-El on their ass. I always
Can't be Marlon Brando.
Oh man, I always loved that. So I was like, okay, if they're gonna kill him off, fine. But when he comes back, and we all know he's gonna come back, he's got to have the black and silver. And they were like, nope. And you can tell that the shield in the movie, in the original movie, the theatrical cut, the shield is silver. You can see that. It's like they spray painted the fucking yellow S on there, but you can see the silver in it. You can tell that suit used to be silver. There was silver in that suit. And I'm like, I'm looking at him. Why is the shield silver? And then someone's like, oh, well, he was wearing the black and silver originally. They just colored over it. And I'm like, oh, you sons of bitches. Why would you do that? Why? Yes, I was, dude. I was a Raiders fan back in the day. Hell yeah. The black and silver. Hell yeah. And then they wouldn't let us wear any of that in school. It could be gang related. Fuck you, schools. That's what someone was saying, Tim. Someone was saying they used his daughter as an outing. Someone was saying that he didn't step down. They pushed him out. It was Project Storytime. They kicked him off the project. I always heard that he couldn't put his heart into it, and he said that. He made a statement saying, I can't put my energy into this with what's going on with my family. I'm stepping away. If they pushed him out, oh, that's some shit. I don't know if I'd come back and make a damn. I don't know. I mean, I guess I would do it for the fans, but he's going to do a lot more too. So maybe Warner Brothers was like, we're sorry. We know we fucked up.
Yeah, after the bomb of that thing was.
So we get more Jeremy Irons. We get Jason Momoa. We get Ezra Miller as the Flash, which I hated.
Not stand Ezra Miller.
Oh man,
Same.
that guy just he's a creepy dude.
Did you guys see have you guys been watching The Stand at all? Does anybody else
Yes.
The Stand?
Yeah.
No.
Ezra Miller's portrayal of Trash Can Man, holy shit. Damn, is it bad?
Yeah. It
Um,
really is.
I know what Trash Can Man's like in the book compared to what he was like in the original miniseries, but Ezra Miller's like way out there. It's like almost prescient. Just what Miller brings to that. It's like, man, you think he's creepy before? Give him some creepy points. You can give him some creepy points, but it still sucks. It doesn't help that show out at all. But you can give him some more creepy points. A lot of us don't like Ezra.
Mhm.
But now the kid that plays Barry Allen in the CW series, I love him. I absolutely love him to death. But yeah, Trash Can Man equals Max Headroom. Yes, my life for you, my life for you. Bum bum be dum, bum bum be dum.
Bump, yep, bump bump.
Grant Justin, yes, absolutely. I wish they'd have tapped him for those movies. I really do, because he's great. I don't give a shit whether you bring in the TV version or not, or you just bring in the actor as a actor to play. He's perfect as the Flash.
I really enjoyed that series up for the first 2 or 3 years, and then of course everything on the CW, you know what happens, it just kind of goes off the rails.
But Chris Persia says Warner Brothers isn't sorry. Remember, it was AT&T that gave us the Snyder Cut, not Warner Brothers, which is why they wouldn't pay the actors their fee for a miniseries and turned it into a movie with minimal advertising.
Mm-hmm. Yes, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be split, wasn't it, originally?
Yep. Good morning, Jedi Bill. So what did you guys think of the original Justice League?
I didn't enjoy it, I've got to admit. I thought it was didn't flow very well. I didn't think characters had that much chemistry together. And I really, like Lorena was saying, didn't like the big bad guy. I mean, obviously we know this is leading up to Darkseid.
Yeah.
But Steppenwolf was supposed to be the villain of the film, and he just didn't really do much.
It was kind of like a half-finished movie, in my opinion. I mean,
it's half-assed.
Yeah, the CGI was horrible. The villain was miscast, and it was just not a very good movie overall.
I watched Batman versus Superman, the extended cut, at least 3 or 4 times, because I was like, why am I not loving this? I like it kind of, but then I'm not loving it. But Justice League I watched like twice, and I was just like, no. I watched it once in theater, I watched it once at home, and I was like, it just doesn't work.
I watched it once at home, and I was just like, I'm just done. I'm just done. I mean, I felt that way even watching the film. I was just like, it was kind of like what Purple was saying. It was just a cobbled together mess. There didn't seem to be a clear direction. Your big bad was not really big bad at all. And honestly, it felt like a waste of time to me, which is sad to say, because I was really looking forward, to checking it out. And I was just like, no, I didn't like it. So when I heard later on about what happened with Zack Snyder, I'm like, okay, that kind of explains a good part of it. But overall, no, that's a movie I did not want to watch again. And I was only interested in seeing the Snyder cut after I heard about it and saw the trailer for it. That was the thing that was going to cement it for me, was the trailer. So the trailer has me very interested, but Justice League movie itself, that was hot trash.
The cast is looking, I mean, if you look at you've got Jared Leto coming back as the Joker, Amber Turd as Mara, Henry Cavill, Robin Wright as Antiope. I love Robin Wright's character in the Wonder Woman movies. Amy Adams, Ben Affleck, Gal Gadot, Jason Momoa, Diane Lane coming back as Martha Kent, Ray Fisher as Cyborg, Ezra Miller, Joe Manganiello
Mhm.
as Deathstroke. William Dafoe is going to be in this movie, and we don't know who the hell he's going to be.
Jenny.
Jeremy Irons is back. I'm looking at Ray Porter is going to be Darkseid. We've got a rebuilt version of what's his name? The bad from the original.
Steppenwolf.
Steppenwolf, yes. A rebuilt version of him that actually looks mean and angry.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I was looking at that and I was like, damn, he looks angry. He looks
The
angry
original-
and spiky.
The original version looked like the Funko Pop.
Yes.
It looked horrible. Like a bad World of Warcraft character.
So really quick, we'll go around really quick. I'm going to start with Lorena and we'll work our way up. Lorena, as far as a director, what do you think? Like 1 through 10? Zack Snyder.
I'd give him an 8. I'd give him an 8. I like his work. I think he has a little bit of a way to go to show us what he's really, really capable of. So I'm hoping that's going to happen with the Snyder Cut.
I'll have to give him an 8 just because of the 300.
Yeah, 300 was wild.
Yes.
Same. I would have to give him an 8. When he gets the right film, like you guys were saying with 300, he gets it. He nails it completely. So if he has the right project to work on, I think that's where he shines. And I really, really hope that his cut of the Justice League is going to be amazing. I hope it blows everybody away because he's worked so hard on it. I think he kind of deserves it.
Mhm.
I'm going to give him an 8 as well. I'm looking forward to seeing Justice League. I hope that he gets his opportunity to shine. There are people that, of course, have been like, there's no way it's going to be any good, but we're glad he got the opportunity to do it. I want to see it. I have faith in this man as a director. I love 300. 300 is one of my favorite movies of all time. It will go down in history as one of my favorite movies of all time. Fun, awesome popcorn flick you go and see, and you're just like, wow, that was badass. I like him as a director, and I don't think he has had the opportunity to really dive into what DC could be as a franchise with him at the helm. Guys, thank you so very much. What do you guys got going on? Lorena, we'll start with you really quick because I know you got to go soon. What do you have coming up?
Well, today at noon, I have the Lunch Table Show that I'm co-hosting with Fat Steven, and we are going to have Mara Jade as our guest today.
Oh, no shit.
So yeah, so that's gonna be wild. Thank you, Chris Verso, for dropping the link. Also on Sunday at 8 p.m., of course, is my Welcome to Florida stream where we talk all kinds of crazy things. Florida Man, a little bit of Florida news, and we're actually dropping a little bit of Black history as well, because Spanish Florida was actually the first free Black settlement in the Americas way before 1619. So we're going to talk about that on Sunday.
Awesome.
Cool.
Dave Bob, what do you got going on?
Well, the lovely Valkyries are going to have me on, I believe, Sunday. We're going to dive into the WandaVision, the next episode, which I have got to watch again here in just a little bit.
Awesome. On Purple, what do you got going on?
Today we've had to cancel the show. We're still rolling blackouts, so we're having trouble connecting. But Dave Bob's right, we will be back Sunday, and WandaVision.
Awesome. We have got here on the channel, we have got a member stream coming up tomorrow. So keep your eyes open for that. It will be at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out with us this morning and talking Zack Snyder. We will be back next week with another director. I don't know who it's going to be yet, but we will get together and be picking that soon. Everyone have a great, wonderful weekend, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
These videos are tremendous. Like, comment, and subscribe, and hammer that notification bell.